Today, we're diving into the wonderful world of sugarcane. That's right, we're talking about growing your very own sweet stalks right in your backyard. I'll explain the benefits and give you my 5 top tips on how to grow a ton of sugarcane in just one small raised round garden bed. Let's get into it. Tip number 1 for growing sugarcane is all about position. You might be thinking, it's just a plant, stick it anywhere. But hold your horses, my friend, because placement is key. Sugarcane is a bit of a space hog. It grows tall, wide, and proud, and it's got a knack for shading out its neighbors. When you're choosing a spot for your sugarcane, think big and think sunny. These beauties love a good dose of sunshine, at least 6 to 8 hours a day, and they need plenty of room to stretch their stalks. Don't go cramming them in between your prize-winning roses or your delicate herbs. Give them their own patch of paradise where they can soak up the rays and grow to their full potential. A good rule of thumb is to allow at least 1 meter or 3 feet between each plant. And if you're planning on growing a whole row of sugarcane, like a sweet, sweet green wall, then you'll need a fair bit of space. But trust me, the extra effort in finding the perfect position is worth it. A happy sugarcane plant is a productive sugarcane plant, and a productive sugarcane plant means plenty of sweet, juicy stalks for you to enjoy. So there you have it. Tip number 1 for growing sugarcane. Choose your position wisely. Don't be like Mark and stick it in the middle of your veggie patch. Give it space. Give it sun, and watch it thrive. Also, don't forget to prepare the soil well before planting. Sugarcane loves rich, well-drained soil. Adding compost or organic matter can really give your sugarcane a head start. And remember, consistent watering is crucial, especially in the early stages of growth. With the right care and the perfect position, your sugarcane will reward you with a bountiful harvest. Tip number 2 is all about planting. How hard can it be? Dig a hole, stick it in. Bob's your uncle. Well, my friend, there's a bit more to it than that. First things first, let's talk about what we're actually planting. You're not going to find little sugarcane seeds at your local nursery. Sugarcane is best planted by using what's called seed cane. It's not actually seeds, it's pieces of cane, cuttings, that are used for planting. I purchased my seed cane online, and it arrived looking like, well, pieces of sugarcane. These cuttings are usually about 1 foot or 2 long, and they have these little nodes or buds on them. These nodes are where the magic happens, folks. These are the points where the new sugarcane plants will sprout. When it comes to planting your seed cane, timing is everything. You want to plant it after the last frost, when the soil is nice and warm. Here in Australia, that's usually around spring or early summer. But if you're in a colder climate, you might need to wait a bit longer. Once you've got your seed cane and the weather is right, it's time to get your hands dirty. Sugarcane loves well-drained soil, so if your soil is a bit on the heavy side, you might want to add some sand or compost to improve drainage. Next, dig a trench about 6 inches deep and 1 foot wide. Lay your seed cane cuttings horizontally in the trench, about 1 foot apart, with the buds facing upwards. Cover them with soil, water them in well, and then step back and let nature do its thing. It might take a few weeks for your sugarcane to sprout, so be patient, keep the soil moist, and before you know it, you'll have little sugarcane shoots popping up. Regular watering is key during this period. Make sure the soil stays consistently moist but not waterlogged. Adding a layer of mulch can help retain moisture and keep the weeds at bay. With the right care, your sugarcane will grow tall and strong, ready for harvest in about 12 to 18 months. Happy planting, and may your garden be ever bountiful. Tip number 3 is all about pests and diseases. These are the hidden enemies that can sneak up on your plants if you're not careful. The good news is that sugarcane is a pretty tough plant, and it's not particularly susceptible to a wide range of pests and diseases. This resilience is one of the reasons why sugarcane is such a popular crop. However, there is one major pest here in Australia that we need to watch out for, and that's the cane beetle. This little critter can cause a lot of trouble if not managed properly. These little buggers are the bane of many a sugarcane farmer's existence, and they can cause significant damage to crops if left unchecked. Their presence can turn a healthy crop into a disaster zone. They love to munch on the roots and stalks of sugarcane plants, which can stunt growth and reduce yield. This feeding habit makes them particularly destructive. Now, the good news is that cane beetles are mainly a commercial problem. Large-scale plantations are their favorite targets. They tend to target large-scale sugarcane plantations, and they're less likely to be an issue in home gardens. This is a relief for small-scale growers. However, it's always a good idea to be vigilant and keep an eye out for any signs of infestation. Early detection can save your plants. If you notice any wilting or yellowing of your sugarcane plants, that could be a sign of cane beetle damage. These symptoms are often the first indicators. You might also see the beetles themselves, which are about an inch long, brown or black in color, and have a distinctive hard shell. Their appearance is quite unmistakable. If you do find cane beetles in your sugarcane, don't panic. There are effective ways to manage them. There are a few things you can do to control them. Taking action promptly can prevent further damage. One option is to manually remove them from your plants and dispose of them. This method is labor-intensive but effective for small gardens. Another option is to use a biological control method, such as introducing beneficial nematodes or fungi to your soil, which will attack the beetle larvae. This is a more sustainable and eco-friendly approach. So there you have it. Tip number 3 for growing sugarcane. Be aware of pests and diseases, but don't let them scare you off. With a little vigilance and the right strategies, you can keep your sugarcane healthy and thriving. Tip number 4 is all about ongoing care. While sugarcane is a relatively low-maintenance plant, it does benefit from a little bit of TLC every now and then. Since planting this sugarcane in this small round raised garden bed, I haven't given it any fertilizer at all. And you know what? It's doing just fine. Sugarcane is a pretty hardy plant, and it can tolerate poor soil conditions. However, if you want to give your sugarcane a bit of a boost, you can feed it with a balanced fertilizer a couple of times a year. When it comes to watering, sugarcane is a thirsty plant, especially during the hot summer months. You'll need to water it deeply and regularly, making sure the soil stays moist but not waterlogged. A good way to check if your sugarcane needs watering is to stick your finger about an inch into the soil. If it feels dry, it's time to water. Another important aspect of ongoing care is weed control. Sugarcane doesn't like to compete with weeds for nutrients and water, so it's important to keep the area around your plants weed-free. Now, as your sugarcane grows taller, you might need to stake it to prevent it from toppling over. Finally, keep an eye out for any signs of pests or diseases, as we discussed in the previous tip. Tip number 5 is the moment you've all been waiting for. Harvesting. That's right, folks. It's time to reap the sweet rewards of your labor. The beauty of sugarcane is that it can be harvested or pruned at any time. However, maturity is usually around the 12-month mark or before, or as it flowers. You'll know your sugarcane is ready for harvest when the stalks are tall, thick, and have a deep green color. The leaves will also start to turn brown and dry out. To harvest your sugarcane, you'll need a sharp machete or saw. Cut the stalks as close to the ground as possible, leaving a few inches of stalk intact. This will allow the plant to regrow and produce more sugarcane in the future. Once you've harvested your sugarcane, it's time to extract the sweet juice. You can use a sugarcane juicer, which is a specialized machine that crushes the sugarcane and extracts the juice. Or you can use a more manual method, such as crushing the sugarcane with a mortar and pestle or a rolling pin. Once you've extracted the juice, you can drink it fresh, use it to make sugar, or use it in a variety of recipes. So, there you have it. Tip number 5 for growing sugarcane. Harvest your sugarcane when it's mature and enjoy the sweet, juicy rewards. Well, folks, there you have it. My 5 top tips for growing a ton of sugarcane in just one small round raised garden bed. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure that you give it a big thumbs up, share the video around, and subscribe if you haven't already. With a little bit of effort, you can enjoy fresh, sweet sugarcane juice right from your own backyard. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.